everyone. Welcome to Touchbase Thursday for November 19th. How is it already Thursday? I have no idea because I feel like I was just live with you guys like a couple days ago. But I have some really fun and exciting things to share with you tonight. So I'm just going to give it a chance for all of you to find me here live on Facebook. And then we'll go ahead and we will get started here in just a couple of moments. So if you are live with me, go ahead and say hi. And if you are on replay, type replay. Hi, Shireen and Debbie and Sonia. Hi, ladies. So excited to see you guys on here as you guys come on. Pat and Philomena. Yes, I have some really exciting projects to share with you. I'm really happy with what I've created for you guys tonight. I always struggle with what to show you guys, especially when we're getting near the end of a catalog, waiting for the new catalog to come out. And I decided to showcase some Thanksgiving Day cards that you could easily whip together. I mean, there's nothing on these cards that I'm going to be sharing with you that you can't do on your own real quickly as play settings or something like that for your own Thanksgiving next week here in the U.S. So hi to Chris and Kit and Janet, Karen, Lori, Carol. Hoping I'm not missing too many of you. Welcome, ladies, to our Touchbase Thursday. For any of you that are new to finding me on Facebook, I am Kim Vogel, and I'm a demonstrator in Mount Pleasant, Michigan. And you guys, I feel awful. I just celebrated my 10th Stampin' Up! Anniversary on the 10th of November. So it was my 10th anniversary on the 10th, and I was so busy with life between Claire's birthday was on the 9th of November, and then we had some issues that took place with my mother-in-law, and I totally forgot that it was my anniversary. So anyway, oh, thank you, Carol. Yeah, I had to. So I'm back to working from home, and I'll talk about that here in just a minute. And so I decided to curl my hair today because it's the first day all week that I've done anything with myself, and so I wanted to look nice for you guys tonight. So anyway, that is why my hair is curled. I don't normally curl my hair. My shirt matches Forever Fur and Paper. Yeah, so here's the story on my shirt. I have a really nice shirt that is kind of like, I call it my Thanksgiving shirt. It's white with like stripes of brown and like a bumblebee color, the yellow, and like a Cajun craze. It's really pretty. And I thought, how appropriate for me to wear that tonight for my Facebook Live. Yeah, I can't find it. I don't know if it's in the washing machine that's been sitting there full of laundry for like 3 days, washed, never put in the dryer. My girls, I tell you, sometimes they drop the ball on the laundry. But anyway, so Natalie went to my closet and found the next best shirt that she thought was kind of fallish themed. So here I am with this shirt on. Thank you, Shireen. Yeah, 10 whole years that I've been doing this. And to think that I joined just for the discount on the products and to share what I love with others and doing classes, and who knew that this is where I would be. But there's nowhere else I'd rather be. I love creating and inspiring all of you. And I'm here to tell you the biggest compliment. I get so many of you that say, do you mind if I make X, Y, or Z that you showcased a couple weeks ago? Or do you care if I copy your card? That is what I'm here for. That is the best compliment anybody can actually ever give me, is when they like my projects enough to, 1, buy my classes, and 2, to copy them for themselves. So don't ever, ever feel guilty copying anything that I showcase for you. And I'm all about, I do not charge for my tutorials. I am all about, you guys having the what you need to be able to create what I'm sharing with you. That's why I do this. So anyway, just want to make sure that you guys are well aware of that is my intention. I view myself as a demonstrator to demonstrate these awesome products. So anyway, a few things that we have in the way of announcements. So I mentioned early on, thank you all for the congratulations, but yeah, hard to believe that it has been 10 years. That's all I got to say. Gone fast. A few things on updates. So I'm back to working from home. So here in Michigan, we have what's called a new epidemic order. It's kind of like the 3-week pause, they're calling it. Where everybody, if you can work remote, they want you to work remote. So my boss authorized me to work remote. So I am back to working from home. And one thing that I didn't share with all of you that I will share now, because I'm completely fine, is that for 10 days I was in quarantine because both of the students that I work with tested positive to COVID. Luckily, we sit well over the 6 feet apart in the office. I knew I would be fine. I did go for a test that came back negative, about a week and a half ago already. But I did have to stay home, and I'm completely fine past that quarantine time. So I've actually been working from home already. This is my third week, maybe, or the beginning of my second week, maybe. So anyway, it's just been crazy that, this is kind of where we're at. But I'm happy to be working from home again. My girls are back on their 3-week. Actually, right now they've only announced the 1 week. No, they're 3 weeks. 3 weeks working remote as well, or working remote, going to school remote. So we're all home again in one great big happy house. But this time we haven't. Last time we had us all at one table in our living room. This time we're all at different rooms working, and it's working out just fine. But I did tell my husband that for some reason this year I have a thing with the black and red buffalo check. And so if I'm going to be home, I'm putting up a second Christmas tree. So my main Christmas tree is very traditional. It's got all homemade ornaments made by my mom and all of the traditional ornaments that, you get as a kid growing up and that we've given our kids growing up. But I'm also putting one up in the, so I sit kind of in our little family area to do my work from home. And so I actually just purchased stuff to do a little mini buffalo check Christmas tree themed. So I'll be sure to post pictures of that, but I'm really excited. I told my husband if I can, decorate the office this year, because our university closes December 11th for 3 weeks. So I'm sure I'll be home now through after the first of the year. So I want to be able to look at a Christmas tree while I'm working from home. So that is what I chose to do. So that's all ordered. I can't wait to get it. So I'll be sure to post pictures of both my trees. And just so those of you that voted on tree or no tree, it is going to be a tree. We will probably put it up this weekend, as long as my girls can get the house cleaned up. So anyway, but that's the update on us, and even dance is remote. So if you hear any loud bangs during my Facebook Live tonight, Claire is in the middle of her jazz class right now for dance, online remote. So she's up in, not right above me, but above where I'm at off to the right. So if you hear anything, it's just her dancing. But that is just the way we are right now. So we're just kind of going with it. So new catalog update. The January through June catalog will be coming out. If you are a current customer of mine, I will be shipping one to you. And you'll be getting that right directly from Stampin' Up. Probably beginning of the first week of December into maybe the second week of December. And that goes live beginning of January. And as a demonstrator, we can purchase from it beginning December 1st. I actually was able to get a couple things from it because I went registered for our onstage event. So I'll be designing with that, I'm happy to say, next week already with some of the things that I've purchased. So I'll make sure I share some sneak peeks and all that good stuff with you guys. So I also want to ask for your patience with me over the next, this last week. And I know I've promised kits we're going to be getting out. I need to let you guys know a couple of things. So one is, I know I talk about my friend Jen a lot. And Jen, who helps me tremendously, her mother is in her final stages with liver cancer, and it progressed very, very fast. It went from being okay to not okay within the course of a week. And so I am down Jen, who has not been able to help me. She is where she needs to be, and that is with her mom and her dad. So she is actually just staying at her parents' house for the duration. But I just wanted to, if you guys could keep her and her family in your thoughts and prayers. Her mother is very young, and this she's very close to her mother, so this kind of came on very fast. Also pray for my mother-in-law. She's also progressing with her cancer as well. So that has also taken away a little bit of time for us. And then the other thing I wanted to mention is my friend Kay, who also helps me, and she was sick and not feeling well. So I have been down a lot of my helpers, and so I have been flying solo. So I'm doing the best I can. I know I have a couple of you that are wondering where your kits are, and I told Natalie she's got to help me finish getting them all done. My goal is to have, though, all of November kits out before Thanksgiving, because a lot of those are going to be your Christmas cards, and that way you guys can have them in plenty of time to get them done. My goal is actually to have them out by Monday. So they are all collated, ready to go. It just takes time to do the mailing part with the actual labels and things like that. So anyway, so that's just to kind of give you guys an idea of the things going on in behind the scenes with me. It's just kind of been deja vu all at once with changes in our schedules, our work schedules, my helpers, and again, their health and their family always comes first. So anyway, there you have it, a little update on what's been happening with us. So you guys all know the routine. Thank you guys for your prayers. I really appreciate all of them. So as you guys know the routine, if you share my video, you get entered into my drawing. And I have 2 winners who shared last week. And they are, so the winner of the Bumblebee Gingham Plaid Ribbon is Carol Grove. So congratulations, Carol. And Carol, I have a kit ready to go in the mail to you, your Wonder of the Season cards. So that will go right inside of that. And then the winner of the ribbon pack, the combo pack, is Sherry Gibson. So congratulations to both of you. And Sherry, I think I have your address. So I think we should be all set there to be able to get those out. Okay, so up for grabs this week for sharing. 2 of my favorite embellishments right now with the champagne rhinestones and the adhesive backed snowflakes. So again, you just simply share my video and let other, or if you want to just even let others Stampin' Up! People who enjoy stamping, card making know about me to watch my Facebook Lives and join my Facebook group. You will get into the drawing to receive those goodies. Okay, I have a couple of classes that I wanted to make sure you guys know that are still open, that I can get out right away. Natalie, do you want to bring that banner over? So I have a Christmas banner that I have not been able to showcase very good because it's way too big for me to be able to take pictures of. So I'm hoping by Natalie bringing it behind me, you guys will kind of get a better look of it. So this is my Christmas banner class, and this class, I'm hoping if I move out of the way a little bit, we'll wait and see. It might not even fit in the screen completely, but this banner class was one that I did with for my team retreat, and I have, I think, like 3 or 4 kits of this banner left. It does use some of the retired dies with the letters, but I love how it turned out. There's my Natalie. Isn't she beautiful with her beads on? So there you can kind of see the Christmas, the Merry Christmas. You get a whole bolt of that awesome ribbon. You get a whole package of those beaded pearls that I used. You'll use the whole pack on that. But all the banner pieces are cut and ready. You also get a pack of the mini dimensionals because you will need those to adhere your Merry Christmas onto those banner pieces. So if it's something you're interested in, I will be posting. Natalie, you just made a funny look. I'll be posting the link to that again. I did post it a couple times on my page, but I wanted you guys to actually be able to see it. So, okay, Natalie, you can go around with that. And then the other one that I have, I think it's on this chair. Now, this one I have not done a post about yet, but I'm going to show you it. So I cannot take the design credit for this. Pat did this for our team retreat. But I've also got, I'm hoping you guys can see it okay, got a couple of kits of that left over as well. If anyone's interested in this framed art, let me know. And I will send you the link to register for that. Now this one does not include the frame, so you'd have to purchase your own frame. And Donna Davis said she saw your funny face, Natalie. She's smiling. But anyway, so this one I will be posting soon as well. But again, I cannot take the design credit. Kudos to Pat from our team who designed this for one of the projects at our team retreat. So anyway, so just so you know, that will also be there for purchase as well. There you go, Natalie. Okay, so a couple more things and then we have announcements and then we're going to get into our fun Valentine's Day. Oh my gosh, Thanksgiving Day projects. So November 24th, Stampin' Up! Just recently announced that there is a 10% online extravaganza, holiday extravaganza sale on most Stampin' Up! Product. There is a list of excluded products, but I want to let you guys know about that because it just coincides that November 24th is the day of my my online virtual Facebook party that I'll be doing from 6:30 until 8:30 on the 24th. So next week is Thanksgiving here in the United States, so I will not be going live with you guys next Thursday. And I'm going to go live with you guys on Wednesday, but I took Wednesday off as a vacation day from both Stampin' Up! And work, so that we can, the girls and I want to get our other Christmas tree up and get the house ready. We're going to be cooking Thanksgiving dinner for ourselves on Thanksgiving, and probably be inviting my son and his wife and my granddaughter down. But I'm taking the day off just to spend a day with them. We're going to do some baking of pumpkin pies and apple crisp and all that good stuff that you do for Thanksgiving. So I thought that I would make sure you guys know that instead I'll be doing my virtual party. There's a link that I've been posting on my Facebook group. Most of you, I think, are already in it, but it's kind of like a Facebook fun party. I post different games for you guys to do. You comment on the games. I pick winners. There's always an ordering incentive. Plus, you're going to get the 10% off the order that Stampin' Up! Is offering. And then usually I have a prize for everybody who orders. Their name gets put in a drawing, and I pick a winner for some kind of a prize, but I can't tell you just what yet. And so I'll be doing that next week on Tuesday the 24th instead of my Facebook Live due to the Thanksgiving holiday. And then my promotion for tonight, anybody who puts in a minimum $30 order with me, you will get the 3 Thanksgiving fall cards that you're going to be seeing me create with you tonight. So with that, I am going to transition my camera down. And I'm trying to decide, do I want to start with Thanksgiving or the Christmas packaging? We'll do Thanksgiving first, I think, since that's what comes first. So anyway, I will be right back with you all, and we will continue having more fun. Okay. Thank you, Natalie. I told Natalie she is now relieved from her duty of helping. I got to move this stuff down here so you guys can see what I'm going to be, what I'm going to be making with you guys. You're only getting a little snippet here right now because I need to move my whole camera stand over just a little bit. So bear with me here. There we go. Look at that. Isn't it so cute? Okay, that's your sneak peek. You guys, I'm going to take the rest of this away. That's your sneak peek. That's all you're going to get. Okay. So when I was trying to figure out what to make for tonight to showcase, I decided that I needed to do Thanksgiving. And I apologize that this is kind of late in the game, that maybe I should have done this with you sooner. So we're going to make it now. Now, if anybody wants to put in that minimum $30 order, these finished cards will be in the mail to you, so you'll have them in time for Thanksgiving. But you could also easily make these cards. Bear with me here. I need my trimmer. And I'm using my old one because my new one is out in the car from taking it with me to different places. But I want to showcase for you guys first this really cute and fun card that I created to make it look like a pilgrim hat. Isn't that adorable? And then you could put a little white piece of paper in here and write a little note. But wouldn't that be cute as a little table tent for everyone? You could even put their name on here if you wanted to, or their name on the leaf. I don't know. I thought it was really, really cute. And so I wanted to showcase how I created this card. And it's so, so simple. So I started with a piece of the soft suede cardstock. This is cut 4 1/4 by, I believe, 9 1/2. I did this card a couple nights ago, so I need to make sure. Yeah, so it's 4 1/4 by 9 1/2, and then it is scored at 4 3/4. So it is scored at the 1/2 of an inch. Now, the regular size card was way too big for this hat. It just was way, way, way too big. And so I had to cut it down a little bit, so that's kind of why I did it that way. Now, all I did to cut off the pieces for the hat was I cut off 3/4 of an inch all the way down to 1 inch. So what you're going to do is you're going to put your fold piece inside at the top of your card. Here you go, your folded piece at the top of your trimmer. You're going to go to 3/4 of an inch. And all I did was cut this down to where I had 1 inch left on my trimming thing. Then you're going to turn it over, and I'm going to do the exact same thing. I'm going to put it at the 3/4 inch mark,
And I'm using this inside ruler on my trimmer so that I know exactly where I'm cutting. Okay, and then from there, I'm going to pull this out. Now I can bring my sample back in so you guys can see better. For this, you could also use the trimmer if you wanted to cut this off, but I just used my paper snips and I just kind of eyeballed it. I mean, there's really no, you can't go wrong with that, right? And then here as well, just going to cut that off. Whoops, that one I didn't go down quite as far, so we're going to go down a little bit more. So literally, there's nothing fancy about this so far, right? Okay, so far, so good. Oh, thanks, you guys. I'm glad you liked this already. Yeah, it's really, really fun. I had fun doing it. So then I cut a piece of basic black cardstock. Now this is cut 1 inch, and I just cut it the same duration to fit across my card right here. And so what I did is I measured this to know how big to make it. So again, nothing really hard at all. So this piece in the middle is 2 3/4. So this would be 1, the little black piece is 1 by 3 3/4, or 2 3/4. And I just adhered that down with some Stampin' Seal. So that just is gonna go, excuse me guys, on the bottom here like that. And then I cut a piece of Bumblebee cardstock. This is cut 1 1/4, excuse me. This is cut 1 1/4 by 1 1/4, and I cut it to be just a little bit bigger. So we're going to adhere that down. Thank you, Mary. Oh, my nails. Pat, you noticed my nails. Yes, so I'm a plaid fanatic right now. So I got plaid and then a little pumpkin. Isn't that cute? I know. And then I have a black that is 3/4 by 3/4. And again, these are all just cut with my trimmer. Nothing fancy, and put that on. So it makes it look like it's a little buckle, right? And then in advance, I used the Love of Leaves stamp set and the coordinating stitched leaves dies. And I stamped this leaf right here using the Mango Medley. And I used this one right here, and I stamped that one using the Cajun Craze. Thank you, Marcia. I'm glad you like my nails too. And then I'm just going to adhere these two together a little bit. So I put a little bit of adhesive down here on the side of this one. And I'm just going to do this one a little bit different. So see, I'm doing it a little bit backwards, but that's okay. That's the joy of doing it. And then I'm going to put that on there with some dimensionals. So let me find some dimensionals. These would be perfect for you to make, Donna, and they're so simple. So even if you don't have the stitched leaves dies, you could use any leaves that you have, or a leaf punch, or anything that you have in there that would work. And then I'm just going to stick this on there like that. And then I topped mine off with a double knot of linen thread. So let me bring in my linen thread. And if I would have been thinking, you guys, I would have done these cards a couple weeks ago to give you more time, but I wasn't even thinking about Thanksgiving. And then when I was thinking, so usually it's on Friday or Saturday that I'm like, what am I going to do for my Facebook Live next week? That I went, oh my gosh, I could do some things with Thanksgiving. And so this is what I came up with. So I'm glad you guys like it. Now I will tell you, for my virtual party on the 24th, I will be showcasing and focusing on the Sweetest Time bundle. It is a bundle that I have not used yet. I've not done a class on it or anything. If you want a kit of it, I know I've offered the kit in advance, but I would also sell the kit after my virtual party as well. So you'll have to just let me know if you like it and are interested in that kit. But there you have it. Now, like I said, you could easily do a little circle up here and put someone's name. You could write their name on the leaves, but they sit up perfectly as little name tags for your Thanksgiving dinner. Isn't that cute? Okay, so I designed this card first and then thought, how cute would it be to use that concept and make an actual card? So this is what I came up with. Let me pull that one to the side. Now I will be posting pictures of these cards as well, so you'll be able to see them. But this is the card that I came up with. Again, using the same kind of theme, but incorporating it on a card. Isn't that cute? Okay, so for this one, I again stuck with the soft suede. I don't know, I just thought the soft suede screamed pilgrim. And so I used 5.5 by 8.5, folded it at 4 1/4. So that is the base of my card. The designer series paper that I used is the new one that came out. It's called Classic Christmas. It's out with the curvy bundle right now. I think I showed it to you guys in my Facebook Live last week with the moose. And so hi Kathy. And so I used that, and this time I used the zig, or not, instead this is the polka dot, I used the diagonal paper, so you can kind of get a different look, and it's got different patterns on it. So again, if any of you are like, I really like those cards, but I want samples of them, a minimum $30 order would get you these cards sent to you already completed. So all you'd have to do is have them to be able to duplicate. And to place an order, you just go to kimsbasementbunch.com, and there's a shop now button right there for you to be able to get that order in. So then I used our layering ovals dies, and I cut a white one out and then a bumblebee one, and those I cut to kind of layer together perfectly. And so that I put on with some dimensionals, and then again I simply made my little hat. So this time I had to kind of make it a little bit smaller, and so I used a 1 1/4 by 1 1/4 inch square piece, and then I put the put a little bit of adhesive. So this one's cut a little bit longer because again you got to make your hat, right? So I'm just going to put some adhesive on that, and this is going to go on there like that. Sorry, I should have it that way. And then the basic black is going to go again at the base of it. Such a simple card. I mean, it's just you cut in little scraps of paper, like seriously. And that's also a 1/4 inch so that it goes all the way across. And then I cut the buckle, this buckle. This one is 3/4 by 3/4. And gonna put that on here like this. And then I have a piece, oh, this I didn't even cut. This is just a piece of basic black scrap. And I'm just going to cut a little piece off for the buckle on the inside. That I'm going to use a glue dot since it is so small. Thanks, Karen. Like I said, I just decided to use the same theme that I had with the Pilgrim card and then come up with one that I could incorporate onto an actual card. So this one you could also do as a name tag if you wanted to, and instead of doing a stamped sentiment, you could just write their names on there or print them on a piece of paper and you know, punch them out or whatever you might like to do there. And then I used just the littlest leaf, did the same 2 colors again, but only used the little one. And I'm going to adhere those together. So I'm just going to put a little bit of adhesive on the one end here. And I adhered those 2 together. And then that I just glued directly on. So I used dimensionals for the actual Pilgrim hat, but for the actual leaves, I just glued those directly down. And I had this thing with my double knots of linen thread. So I'm just going to do another double knot here. And again, I like to make this kind of straight by tightening it with my fingers. And I'm just going to do a double knot here. Whoops, there we go. I got that one a little, we'll fix it. There we go. You just got to kind of show it who's boss and twist and turn it this way and that way. Make sure that your 2 loops are the same size. I'm going to snip off the ends of that one. And I'm going to put this on with a glue dot. And then we're going to put this whole thing on with some dimensionals. I'm just going to use 3 of them. And then stick that on over here because I want room for my banner piece. And then in advance, I stamped the season's greetings. And I'm just going to snip that off and banner my piece here. Whoops. There we go. And then I'm going to put that on with a couple of dimensionals. And there is our card number 2. Isn't that cool? I love it. And I stamped that with some soft suede ink as well. What do you think? Isn't that awesome? So again, you can kind of see how I took an idea and went with it to make it into a different card. So, all right. So card number 3 is an oldie but a goodie. I'm sure that most of you have probably seen this technique done before, but I love it. And I think it's an awesome way of using up some of your scraps as well. So this is the third one that I came up with, and I love using ovals to make and create a pumpkin. And again, I stayed with my same theme of the soft suede, because that's what I had out when I was designing these for you. So soft suede is my card base. And then in advance, I used the pine wood planks, I think it's called. Thanks, everyone. Thanks. I'm glad you guys like that. To emboss the planks onto this. And then this I adhered to my card. And I sometimes do the mats instead. I know some people actually will emboss the base of their cardstock, and I always like to add a layer to it. I just feel that the layer gives it a little bit of depth, a little bit of volume. So I always find myself gravitating to that. And then I have a piece of Whisper white cardstock. So this base is 5 1/4 by 4. And then I have a piece of Whisper white cardstock that I believe is cut. I'm going to have to measure this again. I had them all in my head till my Facebook Live. This is cut 3 by 4 1/4. Okay. So 3 by 4 1/4. And I'm going to stamp the Season of Thanks at the top. Now the Season of Thanks comes from the Gather Together stamp set. Oh, thank you, Carol. It's actually, you'll see how easy I put that together. And what makes it look so nice is that I used the stitched dies for it. And so it kind of really made it come to life. Hi, Luann, and thank you, Shireen. I'm glad you think that card was cute. I had a lot of fun, like I said, creating these. And it really kind of made me ready for Turkey Day, as we call it. So I'm just going to stamp Season of Thanks at the very top. So I've already got a little bit of my shopping done for Thanksgiving. I was so afraid if I didn't get like the stuffing, like the bags of bread and some mushroom soup and stuff to make my green bean casserole. I was so worried that I wouldn't get it. So I already did a little bit of that last week when I did. So I do, all of my groceries are delivered. I'm bad. I don't go to the grocery store, but I haven't. Even before our whole COVID pandemic, I was doing shipped. And I love it because I don't have time to go to the grocery store and I hate grocery shopping. So it's kind of a good fit for me. And so I had some of that delivered last week. And so I'm pretty excited about the fact that I already have almost everything that I need. All right, so then I just glued that down. So now I'm going to show you how I made the pumpkin. So what I did to make it actually, so if I was just going to adhere the pumpkin together, it would look like this. I'm going to lay this one down next to that. And can you tell the difference? This one kind of shows up a little bit more. So what I did is I inked around the edges of that. And inking around the edges really gives you kind of what you need in that whole making that pumpkin look so good. So I took a sponge and I took my pumpkin pie ink pad, and all I did was inked around the edges of all of these. Now this, depending on how big or small you want your pumpkin, these are the stitched shapes dies that some of them are oval, some of them are square, some of them are circle. And you're just going to kind of go with, can you see the difference there? You're just going to kind of go with whatever size of pumpkin that you would like to make. So hi Karen, welcome. So you're just going to kind of go with whatever size of the pumpkin you want. Now I've also seen cute pumpkins that are circles, but I like the oval ones better. And so I chose to do that. I love inking edges too, Philomena. The inking the edges of things really makes things stand out, and it gives a clear definition around it. So don't ever hesitate, giving it a try and seeing how you like it. So then from here, I'm going to put a little bit of adhesive on one of these sides, And I'm going to adhere this one down to that. And then I'm going to put a little bit of adhesive on this side. And I'm going to adhere this one to there. And you want it to be about the same distance. So see, that one I made a little bit smaller, oh, pretty close. And then I'm going to put this whole thing on with some dimensionals. It sure does, Carol. Those edges does it. It just does. It really does. And we're going to put that on like that down here. And it couldn't be a card, again, for tonight without doing the double bow using the linen thread. So you guys have seen this twice already tonight, but I love the double bow look. So there we go. The singles just, I don't know, to me not as, I don't know, not as good as doubles. Those of you that come to my classes, you know that I make you guys do double bow. Well, I don't make them do anything, but a lot of them prefer to do double bows anyway. I know Janet usually always does a double bow when she's at my classes. It's not that hard. I'm going to put this, oh, before I put that on there, we forgot about the pumpkin top. So what I did, let me put my little bow down. We'll put that on in a minute. So I took a piece of, hi, Kathy. I took a piece of the green, whoa, there goes that piece running off. Let me get that back out of here. So I took a piece of the green paper. Now this paper, this designer series paper, is actually from the Wonder of the Season paper. So it's Christmas themed, but look how I used it to make it into kind of a fall theme. So all I do to do a top is I just kind of cut it. I literally cut it and then make it at a little bit of an angle. So literally nothing fancy, cut it. And then I take a glue dot and I'm going to glue dot it in here like that. And then I'm going to use my bow that I made and top it off. Isn't that awesome? So let me bring back in, I'm still going to go over Christmas packaging with you guys, but before I do, I want to bring in all three of my Thanksgiving themed cards for you guys to see again. So this was card number 1, or number 3. This was card number 2. That's so cute. So this one again has the polka dot that has the diagonal. And then card number 3 was the actual pilgrim hat, where we cut that cardstock down and made a cute little, so all three of these would really make great, place settings for your Thanksgiving dinner. So again, like I said, we're going to go over some Christmas packaging, so don't leave me yet. But I also want to let you guys know that if you put in that minimum $30 order from now through Sunday, I will send you these 3 completed cards already done. And you would get them in the mail. I would get them out to you tomorrow, so you'd get them, or as soon as you put your order in, so you'd get them in the mail right away to be able to have them as a pattern, or for you to be able to use later, or even if you want to use them this year or keep them for next year. But that is the awesome cards that I showcased. So Connie, this piece of cardstock, I started with a piece of 9.5 by 4 1/4, and then it's scored at 4 3/4, and then I just cut out 3/4 of an inch on both sides down to the 1 inch. So yeah, I hope you guys like that. I wanted it to do something unique and different. Okay, so now I want to talk to you guys a little bit. Thank you, ladies. I'm glad you like them. Thank you, Marcia and Carol, Luann, Kathy, all of you. So now I want to talk to you a little bit about packaging for Christmas. So sometimes I think we get in a rut with, okay, we have X gift or this gift or that gift. How do I want to package it? And I want to share with you guys a really quick and fun tip on how you can make boxes. So you can see here, I'm not sure if you guys can see these boxes, but I've made boxes in all these different shapes and tons of different shapes. And I want to share with you guys a little secret on how you can make all these different sized boxes and without having to really think about it and stuff like that. So these boxes would be perfect for like jewelry. This would be perfect for my girls actually wanted a new stocking hat. It's going to fit in this size box. So I'm all about trying to do my own boxes this year for different things, as long as they're small enough enough that will fit. So I wanted to share with you guys how I'm going to make probably one of these boxes with you, and I'm going to show you how I made the other sizes so that you can easily make them as well, because it's a really neat little, I call it a formula of how you can make them. So let me bring in my trimmer. So here's the rule of thumb that you want to always remember. When you're making a box, I'm going to bring in my smallest one, even though I might make a bigger one. But when you're making a box, oh, Karen, I remember you making all those cards. That was awesome. I'm sure you were glad they were done, but I'm sure that they loved them. So when you're making a box, you can notice that the bottom is always bigger than your top is, okay? And it's going to fit here perfectly. And you could use cardstock for both if you wanted to. But here's the rule of thumb that I like to always tell you. So this is the first thing. When you're making the bottom of a box, you're always going to score at 2 inches on all 4 sides. When you're making the top of a box, you're going to always score at 1 inch on all 4 sides, okay? So now I'm going to tell you the secret of the size of the box. So let's say you were using a piece of cardstock. Let me bring in a piece of my Whisper White cardstock. We're going to actually make a bigger box because I need more bigger boxes this year. So let's say I was starting with a piece on the bottom that is 9.5 by 9.5, okay? Let me make sure I got I don't want to get my white piece of paper dirty. So I'm just going to cut this at 9.5 by 9.5. Bear with me, it'll make more sense, you guys, as I get going here. So 9.5 by 9.5, okay? So whatever size box you want, and just experiment with your paper. So here I do need 12 by 12 paper, but whatever you want it to be square. So you could do 9.5 by 9.5. You could do 11.5 by 11.5. You could do 7.5 by 7.5. But whatever you do, you want to score it on all 4 sides at the 2-inch mark. Okay, so I'm going to score this at 2 on all 4 sides. So this was 9.5 by 9.5, right? So that means the lid, whatever size you do your bottom, the lid needs to be cut 2 inches shorter. So this was 9.5 by 9.5. So that means my lid has to be 7.5 by 7.5. Now, if I was doing an 11.5 by 11.5 inch bottom, then my top would be 9.5 by 9.5. So just keep in mind that it always has to be 2 inches shorter than your base, okay? So we're gonna cut this at 7.5 by 7.5. And once you have that concept down, this is such an easy way of making boxes. And now I'm gonna score these at 1 inch. I'm gonna actually use the 1 inch on this other side because it's easier. So I'm gonna move it over to the 1 inch on this side, and I'm gonna score it at 1 inch on all 4 sides. And you don't want to go too hard with this because you don't want to accidentally cut your designer series paper. Okay, so now what you're going to do is you are going to cut up on these score lines, and they're always hard to see on your designer series paper, but I think it's right. Let me see if I can see it better on the other side. I can see it better on the other side. So I'm going to cut up to the 1 inch score line on all 4 of these sides. And again, this is the hardest part, is finding it. Okay, and then I like to actually do the little miter cutting where you take a little bit of this out, and otherwise you have a lot of that kind of shows when you fold the box lid up. So I like to just kind of cut those little V's in the tabs. So again, your base is going to be 2 inches bigger than your top, and you're always going to score your base box at 2 inches, and you're always going to score your lid at 1 inch, okay? So whichever size box you're trying to make. Now I want this pretty, because I'm all into this plaid stuff. So I want this pretty green to show. So now I'm just going to fold this all up. And then I'm going to put some adhesive. Now for this I'm using the Stamp and Seal Plus. So any 3D projects, you want to make sure that you use a stronger bond adhesive. So I'm just going to be putting adhesive on those. So because I cut out those tabs, when I fold this up, you're not going to see any of that. It's going to fold right up nice and even. Otherwise, sometimes a little bit of that sticks out, okay? So I'm just going to fold that up. And there we have completed the lid of our box. So let me bring in our bottom. So this again, remember, was 9.5 by 9.5. Would I recommend the thick Whisper White cardstock for the base? You could. The only problem with that, Pat, is Stampin' Up! Doesn't sell the 12 by 12 in it. So I've been just using the regular Whisper White. But if you're making a small enough box, I would absolutely recommend using the thicker Whisper White. It's just going to hold up a little bit better. But the way I look at it with Christmas, these boxes are going to be destroyed anyway. So just like, your wrapping paper gets destroyed, all that work, and then in like, what, an hour it's gone. So I kind of view this the same way, but I'm definitely going to be, as my girls are getting older, they're asking for more expensive things, so they're getting less gifts to open. And so like Claire, one of her things she asked for is some cute rings. So she'll be getting a cute little ring in one of these cute little boxes, and I'm trying to think what Natalie asked for that I'm putting in a box for her too. Gift cards could go in there with candy. So I don't know, I'm all about, if we have extra time on our hands, because we're all dealing with being home more and things like that, that I thought this little tip and trick on these boxes would be a neat little thing to share with you guys. So I'm gonna fold these up like so. And, you're probably going to want to use a bone folder to maybe get more, crisper folds than what I did. But I don't want to keep you guys here till, well, that happens sometimes. This adhesive, because I pushed so hard, it brings up the whole cardstock with it, but it'll be fine. And I'm just putting 2 strips of adhesive down, one at the top. So I don't want to push so hard, because that's what I'm doing. Just pushing too hard. All those little strips get in my way. And then all you're going to do is fold these up. And again, because I've cut this down, it's not going to come up over the top. Otherwise, it might a little bit. Line those all up. And this one I'm going to put, since I ripped that cardstock, I'm going to put a little bit of adhesive on this end. And no one's going to see that. Line that up. And line that up. Okay, so then you're going to kind of form it a little bit better, because I didn't do those creases quite the way I should have. And there you have a box. Bear with me, I got to move it closer to myself to get it to fit. But there you have a box and a lid. And the neat thing is that, so this one I made the same size, okay? So this one right here is a little bit bigger. Let me bring in this one and put it next to this one. This one I did with a 10.5 by 10.5 inch base. So you can see it's a little bit bigger. And then this is the biggest size that you can do. This was done with an 11.5 by 11.5 inch piece of base. And then this was 9.5 by 9.5. So isn't that awesome? A neat little way for you to make boxes. And again, the rule of thumb is whatever size the bottom is. So this is 11.5 by 11.5. Then this is going to be cut 9.5 by 9.5. You always score your box, bottom of your box at 2 inches and your top of your box at 1 inch. So yeah, I hope that you guys liked that little tip and trick. Again, I'm all about sharing ideas to be able to help things be easier for you guys. So if you have extra designer series paper, I encourage you guys to, you could also decorate this box up nice, add some ribbon on it, a cute little tag. I mean, I didn't take the time to do all of that because I knew my Facebook Live was going to be long enough tonight with all of the awesome things that I shared with you. But just thought I would share that awesome tip with you and encourage you guys to get creative with your packaging this year. Now you could also purchase this cardstock and this designer series paper that I used is the Christmas is heartwarming hugs or something like that, designer series paper. So you could easily add that and some 12 by 12 Whisper White cardstock to your order. As I mentioned, any $30 order, you will receive these 3 cards sent to you. I love these cards for free. So anyway, I hope that you guys enjoyed my presentation this evening, and I hope that you all will join me on the 24th. Like I said, next week will be different. I will not be doing a Facebook Live on Thursday night so that I can celebrate Thanksgiving, and I'll be taking the day off on Wednesday. But on Tuesday from 6:30 until 8:30 is my virtual party from 6:30 to 8:30. You do not need to be present that entire time, but we play games during that 2-hour time block. I also go live at least twice. I'll be showcasing the Sweetest Time bundle, which is the really pretty candles, and you'll be able to, you can either purchase that kit now in advance and make the projects along with me, or you can purchase the class afterwards as well. It'll be available to be shipped to you. And I have some awesome prizes and ordering promotions going on next week as well, in conjunction with the Stampin' Up! Online Extravaganza sale. And then I'm offering a pretty amazing promotion as well for Black Friday and Small Business Saturday. So thank you guys so very much for joining. I hope to see so many of you back here with me next week. If I don't, if you live in the U.S., have a wonderful Thanksgiving, and thank you so much for joining me tonight. Bye, ladies.